Imagine being betrayed by the one you trust most. My sister took my boyfriend, and now he's expecting a child with her. My whole family is in shock. This story changed my life forever. I never thought betrayal could come from the two people I trusted the most. But here I am, telling you how my boyfriend and my sister ruined my life in ways I never imagined possible. It still feels like a nightmare I can't wake up from. When I first met Daniel, he felt like everything I had ever dreamed of. He was tall, funny, had that charming smile that made you feel like you were the only girl in the world. We met at college, and within weeks of dating, he was already meeting my family. My parents adored him. My friends envied me. And my sister Emily, well, she was supportive. At least that's what I thought. Emily was 2 years younger than me. She had always been the sweet one, the girl who got away with everything, because of her big, innocent eyes and bubbly personality. We grew up close. We shared secrets, clothes, even our diary passwords. I trusted her more than anyone. So when Daniel became part of my life, I never suspected that letting him around my family around Emily would be the biggest mistake I'd ever make. It didn't happen all at once. At first, it was small things. Emily laughed a little too much at Daniel's jokes. He seemed to enjoy it a little too much when she joined our conversations. But I brushed it off. She was my sister. He was my boyfriend. What could go wrong? Then I noticed Emily started dressing differently whenever Daniel came over. She'd put on tight tops, do her makeup even if she was just hanging around the house. I teased her once. "Wow, who are you trying to impress? Got a crush?" She giggled nervously and said, "Of course not, you're imagining things." I should have listened to my gut. But love makes you blind. And I was blind. One Friday night, Daniel came over to study with me. We had a big exam coming up. But I wasn't feeling well. I had the worst headache and ended up going to bed early. Daniel said he'd stay downstairs and finish some notes. And Emily? She said she'd keep him company. I didn't think twice. But when I woke up at 2 a.m. and went downstairs for water, I heard whispers and laughter coming from the living room. I froze when I saw them, sitting way too close. Emily's hand brushing his arm. Daniel smiling in a way he hadn't smiled at me in weeks. They didn't see me. I didn't say anything. I just turned and walked back upstairs, my heart pounding like a drum. I convinced myself it was harmless, that I was paranoid, that my own sister would never cross that line. But deep down, something cracked inside me that night. After that, Daniel started pulling away. He didn't text me as much. He canceled dates, saying he was busy. And Emily? She was acting strange too, avoiding me sometimes, locking her phone, being overly defensive whenever I asked her where she'd been. One night, I asked her directly, "Emily, is something going on between you and Daniel?" Her eyes widened like I had slapped her. "What? Are you crazy? He's your boyfriend. I would never do that to you." I wanted to believe her. She was my sister. She had to be telling the truth, right? Weeks later, Daniel broke up with me. Just like that. He said we weren't working out, that he needed space. I was devastated, cried for days. Emily comforted me, hugging me, telling me I'd be okay. She said, "You deserve better." She said, "Daniel's not worth your tears." But guess what? Not even a month later, I found out they had been seeing each other behind my back. I didn't believe it at first. But then one evening I walked into the cafe near campus, and there they were. Emily, Daniel, holding hands. When Emily saw me, her face went pale. Daniel had the nerve to smirk. I couldn't breathe. It felt like my chest was caving in. I screamed. I cried. I asked why. Emily tried to explain. She said it just happened. That they didn't mean to hurt me. Didn't mean to hurt me? They destroyed me. I ran out of that cafe and didn't look back. For months, I refused to speak to either of them. I blocked Daniel. I ignored Emily's calls. My parents were caught in the middle. They begged me to forgive her. Family is family, they said. But how do you forgive a sister who steals your boyfriend? How do you forgive someone who betrays you like that? And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, Emily showed up at my apartment one night, crying. She said she needed to tell me something. Her hands were shaking. Her face was pale. I didn't want to hear it. But then she whispered the words that shattered my soul. I'm pregnant. At first, I didn't understand. Then my stomach dropped. With who? I demanded. Her silence told me everything. It was Daniel, my boyfriend, my sister, and now, their baby. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. It felt like everything around me was collapsing. Emily was crying, begging me to understand. She said she didn't plan it, that she was scared, that she didn't know what to do. But all I could hear was the sound of my heart breaking. My sister, my own flesh and blood, was carrying the child of the man I once thought I'd marry. And that's where everything changed. My life, my family, my trust in people. But you might be wondering, did I forgive her? Did I cut them both off forever? Or did things spiral even further into chaos? Let's just say, that baby wasn't the only secret they were hiding. And what happened next was darker than I could have ever imagined. I found out my sister was pregnant with my boyfriend's baby. I thought my world had ended, but that was only the beginning. What followed was a storm of lies, betrayals, and choices that would change my family forever. At first, I wanted to disappear. I stayed locked in my room for days, ignoring my phone, skipping meals, unable to face anyone. My parents were confused. They thought I was just being dramatic about the breakup. They had no idea what my sister had done. But then, the truth exploded. My sister Emma couldn't hide her pregnancy for long. Within weeks, she started showing. My mom noticed it first. I remember the exact moment. We were sitting at the dinner table, and Mom's fork froze midair as she stared at Emma's stomach. "Emma, are you?" Mom whispered, her voice trembling. Emma dropped her fork, her face pale. And before she could even respond, Dad's voice boomed. "Who's the father?" The entire house went silent. My heart was racing. I was praying she wouldn't say his name, but she did. It's Daniel's," she muttered, looking down. I felt my chest cave in. My mom gasped. My dad slammed his hand on the table so hard the plates rattled, and then all eyes turned to me. I couldn't breathe. Mom started crying. "Daniel, but wasn't he with—" She stopped herself before finishing the sentence. I stood up, shaking. "Yes, Mom, he was with me. My boyfriend, my future fiancé, and now he's the father of her child." The words left my lips like broken glass, cutting through the room. Emma started sobbing, begging for forgiveness, saying it was a mistake, that she didn't mean for it to happen. But I couldn't even look at her. "Dad," he exploded. He called Daniel, screaming at him to come over immediately. When Daniel arrived, the tension in the house was unbearable. His face was pale, like he knew this day would come. He tried to talk to me first, but my dad shoved him into a chair. "Is it true?" Dad demanded. "Are you the father?" Daniel swallowed hard. His silence was enough of an answer. That moment, it was like my entire life shattered. Not only had I lost the man I thought I would marry, but my sister, the one person I was supposed to trust the most, had destroyed me. The weeks that followed were chaos. My parents tried to keep peace, but the house was a war zone. Mom sided with Emma, saying the baby is innocent and that we had to protect her. Dad, on the other hand, refused to even speak to Emma or Daniel. And me? I was stuck in the middle, drowning in pain. The worst part? People in town found out. Somehow the gossip spread. My sister was pregnant with my boyfriend's baby, and everyone whispered behind my back. At school, girls gave me pity looks. Some even smirked, like my misery was entertainment. One day, I overheard two classmates whispering, "Did you hear? Her sister totally stole her man." Honestly, that's kind of funny. I wanted to scream. Then came the biggest betrayal of all. One night, I came home to find Daniel sitting on the couch with Emma. They were holding hands. I froze in the doorway. "What is this?" Emma sniffled. "We didn't plan this, but we've decided to raise the baby together." I laughed bitterly. "Together? Are you insane? You ruined my life and now you want to play family with my boyfriend?" Daniel stood up, his eyes cold. "Ex-boyfriend. And yes, I need to take responsibility. I can't just abandon her." My heart dropped. It felt like knives stabbing me over and over again. "Responsibility?" I shouted. "Or is this just an excuse because you want her now?" Neither of them responded. The silence said everything. That was the moment I realized I had truly lost them both. But here's the thing about betrayal. It can either destroy you or make you stronger. And I refused to let them win. I started focusing on myself, my studies, my future, my dreams. I cut off Daniel completely. And as for Emma, I barely spoke to her. Every time I saw her baby bump grow, it felt like a knife twisting in my chest, but I forced myself to keep moving forward. Months later, Emma gave birth to a baby boy. My parents were overjoyed. Even Dad softened when he held his grandson. Daniel was there too, beaming with pride like he hadn't torn my life apart. Everyone acted like it was some happy ending. Everyone except me. Because when I looked at that baby, all I saw was betrayal. Then something happened that no one expected. A few weeks after the baby was born, Emma got sick. Really sick. Complications from the pregnancy. She was in the hospital for days, and for the first time, I saw her. Vulnerable. Scared. Not the sister who had stabbed me in the back, but just a broken girl who made a terrible mistake. One night, while sitting by her hospital bed, she grabbed my hand with trembling fingers. Tears streamed down her face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I ruined everything. I ruined us. I ruined you. I don't deserve forgiveness, but please don't let my baby suffer for my sins." For the first time in months, I saw the guilt in her eyes, and it broke me, because deep down, she was still my sister. Daniel stepped up as a father, but Emma's health never fully recovered. She needed help. And guess who ended up helping the most? Me. I hated myself for it. But that baby, my nephew, was innocent. He didn't choose this mess. And despite everything, when he wrapped his tiny fingers around mine, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Life didn't magically get better. Emma and Daniel stayed together, but their relationship was rocky, full of guilt and fights. As for me, I slowly built a new life, one where I wasn't defined by betrayal. But the scars remain. Every family dinner is a reminder of what I lost. Every time I look at my nephew, I see the face of the man who broke me, and the sister who betrayed me. And yet, somehow I keep going. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Sometimes the people closest to you can hurt you the most, but they can't destroy you. Unless you let them. And I refuse to let them.